Believing enough to be hurt. Written and read by Brother Jerry Valenti. Jesus was friends with a family that consisted of 3 siblings, sisters Martha and Mary, and their brother Lazarus. It appears that they were very close friends, since John makes it a point to record that Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when Jesus receives word that Lazarus is sick, it's not too surprising that he makes arrangements to travel to Bethany to visit Lazarus. What is surprising, at least to his disciples, is that he waits 2 days before leaving. By the time that Jesus arrives in Bethany, the scene is quite somber. Lazarus has died. His body has been in the tomb for 4 days already. Many people have traveled from nearby Jerusalem and are offering comfort to Martha and Mary. When Martha hears that Jesus has arrived, she comes out to meet him and greets him in a somewhat surprising way, saying, "Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died." Clearly, she's upset that Jesus didn't get there in time to save her brother. A short time later, the scene is repeated as Mary comes out to see Jesus and says the exact same thing to him. "Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died." She's upset with him too. What's going on? Is it right for them to feel this way? Have you ever experienced a situation that caused you to be in a similar position as Martha and Mary were at that particular moment? A situation that was very important to you, in which you were certain that God was in control and that things were going to work out a certain way, and then the outcome winds up being the same as if God hadn't shown up at all. What was your immediate feeling at that moment? Did you perhaps find yourself feeling somewhat upset with God? Not just disappointed, as in, it would have been nice if my prayer had been answered, but actually upset, as in, God, where were you? How could you have let this happen? If that's how you felt, congratulations, you have great faith. Wait, what was that? Congratulations? For being upset with God? Isn't that kind of blasphemous? Well, look at what Martha and Mary said to Jesus. They didn't say, if you had been here, maybe it would have made a difference. They said, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. They were 100% certain that if Jesus had been there, Lazarus would not have died. Being upset illustrated how much they believed in Jesus. They had great faith. It's the same for you. If you consider praying the equivalent of crossing your fingers for luck, or just a way to make sure you try everything, even praying, or if you do it just to be able to tell someone else that you prayed, then you're probably not really expecting anything to happen, so you won't be all that upset when nothing does. But if you pray with a certainty that you are speaking to God and that He is listening, then you know that He has heard your prayer, you know that He fully understands the situation you're praying about, and you know that He has all the power necessary to change the situation. And while we should always pray acknowledging and understanding that everything is according to God's will and He sees the big picture, there may be a few occasions in your life where you look at a lack of action and say, I don't understand, God. I know you could have done this, so why didn't you? And the more important it is to you, well, it's natural that you would feel somewhat upset. It's not that you don't believe, it's that you believe so much that you're hurt that God would say, no, I won't do this for you. Please don't take this as saying that you should look for reasons to be upset with God, or that you need to prove your faith by reacting emotionally when a prayer is not answered the way you want it to be. Ultimately, we need to remember that God already gave us the greatest gift of all when He sent His Son to give us eternal salvation. Anything else in this life is just a bonus. However, if you ever do experience a time of being hurt or upset when it seems that God has refused to intervene in a situation that's very important to you, don't beat yourself up over feeling that way. Take it as an indication that you have great faith, and then move forward, continuing to trust in God for all things. Faith that great can move mountains, and the mountains will move when it's God's will that they do so.